Welcome to Get Your Goal Body, the podcast for women who are done with starting over, done with diet drama, and done playing small. I'm Hillary, mom, nutrition and psychology expert, and fat loss coach, and the woman who lost 100 pounds naturally and kept it off for a decade. This isn't about quick fixes or crash diets. Here, we do real transformation, sustainable nutrition that actually fits your life, eating food that you actually love, a mindset that rewires your results, and an identity upgrade you'll keep forever. If you are ready to burn the rule book, rewrite your story, and finally live in your goal body permanently, you're in the right place. No more excusing old patterns and no more delaying your goals. Let's raise your standard, break the cycle, and make this the last time you ever start over. Welcome to my world. Let's get into it. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the show. Okay, of course, as soon as I started and pressed play, this is like the second or third time this has happened when I was recording podcasts. Somebody starts mowing. So hopefully not too much background noise for you guys. And a couple of things. Number one, I pulled this week's episode. I'm going to be so for real. I pulled this week's episode. This is like the third time I've done it this year. All these years with the show, I think I've done it like once. There was like a reason I wanted to like put something else in. But this year, I don't know if it's just like my wisdom or the fact that I just like to like go off of vibes more. But seriously, like 3 times this year, I've been like, nope, that podcast just does not vibe with what I want to do anymore. So it was a great episode. It's not like the episode wasn't good, but I'm just really intuitive. And I feel like when something shifts in me, and especially when you guys are in line with what I'm feeling, I'm like, I got to speak to you. Like I literally have to speak to you. So I'm coming at you on a Wednesday, which is not normal at all. I don't know if I've ever done a Wednesday show, and there was not a Monday episode. And that's because literally on Sunday, I'm like, no, that's just not going to do. We're not going to be able to do that because I am vibing with something and I want to make an episode about it. And I want to invite you to join me on it. Okay. Let's get right into it. So, I was like, I know I said that I had a couple things. Meet my new plant. Okay, so we have a new office mate here at Goal Body headquarters. This is Soul, and he's my new Chinese evergreen, and I love him, and he's a part of our vibes now. Okay, so I was like, I've got to introduce Soul because he's going to be behind me in all my videos now. Let's get into it. So I don't talk a lot about politics, and well, no, I don't talk about politics at all. Sorry, in all my 10 years on my show, on social media, and that is something I will stand by forever. But I don't ignore that sometimes what's going on is affecting us. And so with that, I just want to, before we get into like the meat of today's episode, I just want to say that if you have felt heaviness, whether that's been this year or recently, I talked about this like a month ago in an episode. I talked about locking in for the final 4 months of this year. And that's a really great episode. But today we're going to get a little more like strategy and plan, and we're going to kind of just get re-excited, which is not something that I talked about in the last episode when I discussed all of this. So if you have felt heaviness, now I realize I'm probably speaking more to my US ladies than my overseas. If you have felt heaviness, then I am with you as an empath, as somebody who is just energetically like a sponge and I just soak it all up. I too can feel run down, feel sad, feel stressed, feel all the things, the heaviness, right? Of everything that is going on. And I need to pull you out of it now. Okay. So hear me out, because this is one of those things that I kind of had to do this in 2020 with the COVID times. And it was because I was doing it with myself too. I had to pull you guys out of that. And you guys responded so well. Gosh, it makes me feel like I've really been doing this for so long. And see, 2020 wasn't even the start of my business. So crazy to go back that far. But you guys, when I pulled you out of this in 2020, so many of you messaged me and were like, and clients said it like, thank you. Like I needed somebody to say that. I needed to hear this. And so I'm going to do it again because I just know that you can feel the heaviness. You can like feel all your feelings about all the things that are going on in the world and all of the hard and heavy things. And you can also decide that you can't let it affect you anymore. Hear me out. I'm not saying that you should ignore what's going on. In fact, I'm actually really huge in advocating for the things that I feel really strongly about. And we're not going to get into all of this. All I'm saying is you don't have to stay distracted. You don't have to stay beat down, and you don't have to live in it. At some point, you need to come up for air and you need to swim to the surface and save yourself. Okay, I know I'm starting out kind of strong, but I know that this needs to be said and I know that somebody needs to hear it. And maybe it's not on such a massive level. Maybe you're just sort of distracted, right? You're just kind of in the social media scrolling and soaking up all of this stuff. And even that is drowning you. Okay. I need you to come up for air. I need you to swim over to the island and we need to get up and we need to dry off and we need to move on. I'm not saying move on from all the things that are going on necessarily and forget about it, but you deserve to live a life where you are taking care of you. You deserve to feel your best, and your family really deserves the best version of you. So we cannot continue to drown ourselves in all of the things. The reason that I'm bringing this up, now that I'm going to make my hard pivot over to breathing energy and excitement back into your weight loss goals, is because I've been having so many conversations with you guys really all throughout this year because I've been talking about my own health issues and some of the things that I've gone through. I talked about that in the episode about a month ago. And so many of you guys have really just shared in the same sentiment of this year's just been kind of tough. And you've struggled a little bit with feeling like you can prioritize yourself. There's so many other things going on. There's all of this heaviness. And so getting excited about your goals has been like, number one, I can't, I'm distracted, I'm feeling all these things, but also like it feels selfish. But I need you to know that you have to take care of yourself, and we have got to get back into a place where we are prioritizing making sure that we're good. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, here's the deal. We are 1 week into October. There are 12 weeks left in the year. And I don't know about you, but when I heard that, this is why on Sunday I was like, no, pull that episode. We gotta talk about this. We got 12 weeks left in this year. Okay. That feels like a slap in the face to me because I guess I just really wasn't aware that we only have 12 weeks left. 12 weeks left in this year. So if you have been feeling bored by goal setting, if you've just felt disenchanted with your weight loss, it's like, I want it. I want to lose weight. I want to feel good in my body, but something is just weighing you down. You can't seem to get yourself excited, or at least not consistently. And you need to have some fresh energy and life into your goals, then that's what we're going to do in today's episode. So just a little story really quickly. I'm gonna move my phone over here because it's distracting me. Just a little story. I shared this in that episode, but this summer I hit a point where I was like, my back is against the wall. I've been so distracted. I'm not feeling good. And I shared this on social media last week, which is one reason that this episode is coming out this week. I shared this on social media last week that I was like, you know what? I need to shake things up. I need to cut the distractions. I need to get back to focusing on me and my family and stop letting the weight of the world drag me down and just do what I can to take care of myself. Because mentally, I was really not in a good place, and be so honest. This was a necessity. Okay. So I'm going to try and pull you out of this if you're in this state before you get to a place that's not great. Okay. Not good at all. But here's the deal. I shook it up. I changed things and I feel like a different person. I swear this hair, you guys, it just keeps getting in my face. Okay, there we go. I feel like a different person. I literally feel like a different person. And not because I sat around and waited to feel like a different person. I was so bored by my goals, my health stuff. Thankfully, I have a really solid foundation, and so much of what I do is automatic and I just do my health habits. But as far as like advancing myself, as far as seeing progress, zero. All summer long. I look back all summer, I'm like, yeah, there was nothing. And that's where my back was against a wall where I'm like, I am just setting these goals over and over again every week. I'm not even like lit up by them. Like by the end of the week, I've just completely forgotten what they even were. I'm like, just then the next week, I'm like, well, I didn't do it. So I guess I'll set that goal again. And I was just repeating these processes. I was so bored. I was not making any progress. And that was when I realized I'm going to have to do something. If I just continue in this cycle, I'm going to stay stuck in this cycle. There was so much stuckness, okay? I had to pull myself out. I am here to tell you that it is not just going to find you. Motivation and getting excited about your goals is not just going to suddenly appear. It's not magic. It is something you create. You have to go and get it. And if you are sitting around waiting for something, a sign, waiting to feel ready, waiting for something to show you, you'll be sitting and waiting for a long time. You may have something that eventually comes up, but I am here to tell you, if you go and get it right now, 1 week into me shaking things up and walking, I'm going to walk you guys through this exactly. Okay. 1 week into doing it, I felt like a brand new person after months. Okay. We're talking all summer of feeling stuck. 1 week into shaking things up, reconnecting to my goals, breathing some fresh air and energy and life and excitement. And I felt like a different person. And now here I am on the other side of it, 6-ish weeks. And I can't even tell you how different I feel. I cannot even tell you. So I want to ask you, with 12 weeks left in the year, do you want to stay in the same stuck energy or do you want to go and get it? You might not feel really ready right now. You may know deep down that you want to lose this weight. You want to get excited, but you just haven't been able to do it. We're going to tap in and lean into it right here, right now. But no matter how this year has gone, whether you've crushed it, and that's amazing, this episode might not be the episode for you, although there's going to be some really great takeaways and even a really cool thing that I'm going to share at the end. I made something free for you guys. So whether you've crushed it, whether you were seeing progress and you fell off, whether you've seen progress, but you just haven't quite been able to like turn it up. Maybe you've kind of been stuck after seeing that initial progress, or whether this year has looked like absolutely in no way, shape, or form how you wanted it to go. You get to decide how it ends. This final chapter, these last 12 weeks, we can create the excitement. We can get it going. And that is exactly what I want you to do, because I did this for myself and I'm telling you guys, like, I just keep thinking about if I had waited, like if I had sat around, I would have thought too, like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to like pull this out of myself. And I should have known better because I had to do this all throughout my 100-pound weight loss journey at different times. And I knew it worked before. So it's not surprising at all that it worked for me again. And I even have podcast episodes that are similar to this one where I talk about this concept of getting re-excited with your goals. And so you may be in a place where you feel like you have flatlined. Today, I'm going to share exactly how to get re-excited, no matter how blah you have been feeling. Okay. So let's get into it. Okay. Number one, most of all, most important, you already know, it's your mindset. I want you to either do this physically or you can visualize it. Okay. I want you to think about all the words that you have been feeling. And again, I feel like I need to say this because I have clients that are kind of in this place. You may have been doing the things. This doesn't have to be so extreme, okay, that you've been completely off track. You may have been doing the things, but you know you haven't really been showing up for your full potential. You know you haven't really been digging in, okay? So there are different levels to this, okay? I want you to think about kind of the words that you would use to describe where you are right now. I've used some: disenchanted, bored, uninspired, low motivation, low energy, lethargy. Like, what are some of the words that you would use to describe stuck, right? What are some of those words? Either you can physically write them, or I want you to just visualize them in your mind. Visualize that you are writing them on a marker erase board, or you can write them on your physical paper, okay? You can jot them down in your notes as well. What are those words, okay? That's what you have felt. And now you are going to decide to erase them and replace them. Erase and replace. Your thoughts are the most powerful thing that you have. They are the most powerful weapon that you have on this journey. So you don't need anything exciting except to tap into right now your thoughts and your mindset around you can get excited about this. Hear me out. It begins with your mindset. Okay. If you think that you have to stay stuck just because you're not feeling super motivated right now, absolutely not. You get to decide right now. So I want you to erase those words visually on your marker board. Erase, or backspace, backspace, backspace on your notes. Erase them. If you wrote them on paper, scratch it out. And then I want you to erase and replace. What do you want to feel instead? I'm not talking about how you actually feel at this very second. What do you want to feel? Do you want to feel invigorated? Do you want to feel excited? Do you want to feel hopeful? What are the words that would replace the negative stuck energy that you have and would quite literally pull you into an energy that's actually excited about your goals? Again, you don't have to necessarily feel these right now. Your brain is taking note. Your brain is taking note. Whether you are fully bought in and believing it, your brain is taking note and it's saying, okay, this is what we say that we're doing. Okay, sometimes you can do the fake it until you make it, and that's what you might need to do right now. But overall, I need you to agree with me right here to shift your mindset. If you want to stay stuck in stuck energy, then you can keep that going. Exit out of the podcast right now. It's pointless for you to keep listening to this. But if you want to move differently, if you're going to decide that you're going to choose differently, then you can start thinking differently by getting clear on what do you want to feel? Like, what are those words? Like, get a little bit excited just by thinking about the words that you want to feel. Okay. So that's step one, is our mindset. Step two, we are going to reconnect to our why. So many women go into a weight loss journey and they're just trying to log their food. And they're just trying to check off this many workouts and show up for this challenge and check these boxes. And you know, if you listen to the show, you know, if you're on my socials, that I will say time and time again, this is the reason why your results are temporary. This is the reason why the minute that chaos ensues, you go off plan. Nobody is emotionally tied to logging their food. Come on. Nobody is truly like you are not so tied to checking these boxes. You need to figure out the purpose and the why. There is power in the purpose of why you're doing this. I want you to connect to the bigger picture here beyond just, I want to weigh this much on the scale. We got to get past that. We got to realize that, again, checking the boxes and numbers on the scale are not enough to ground us to get excited or stay in it. Okay, I'm over here punching the microphone. That's how flustered I am. I want you to think about why you are doing this. Go deep. Go deep. What is it? Is it to be the example for your family, for your kids? Is it you want to feel hot in your swimsuit? Is it that you are so sick and tired of not keeping the promises to yourself? You actually want to see what happens when you keep those promises, when you follow through, when you stay consistent. Go deep, okay? You need to find your purpose in this journey. You need to reconnect to it, and you need to realize that desire is fuel. No one desires to log their food, but a lot of women desire to feel hot naked. Okay, to take off their swimsuit cover at the pool. We talk about this. It is what it is. To take off their swimsuit cover at the pool and not feel self-conscious, right? What is that desire for you? Not everybody connects to that one, but I'm bringing it out because it's one that we think that we're not allowed to have, and you absolutely are, okay? I need you to connect to your why, and I need you to visualize her. So, inside of our Becoming Her training, which you guys now have access to, as I announced, inside of the Becoming Her training, you get to go so deep into visualizing the version of yourself. The whole part one is visualizing. There's even more to it, but the theme of part one of Becoming Her is getting crystal clear on who you're becoming. Again, we're not tied to checking the boxes, but we are emotionally tied to that version of ourselves, the one that we know that we can be. And I need you to get clear on what that next level version of yourself looks like, thinks like, acts like, feels like. What is she doing differently? This is where you take notes. This is where you need to be writing these things down, whether you come back to it or you do it now. Once you've connected to your why and you've got that crystal clear and your purpose, now I need you to visualize her. Again, how does she think? How does she feel? How does she act? What is she doing differently? What is she doing differently? Okay, here's the deal. Where you are right now and where you want to be, that version of yourself, there's a gap. Okay? The things that you're doing, the habits you have, the thoughts that you think, the actions you take or don't take, compared to who you want to be and what she does and thinks and feels and acts, there is a gap. And when you get clear on who she is and what she does and all of this visualizing, you are able to close the gap. So visualization isn't some woo-woo sitting and meditating thing. It is you understanding and gaining clarity for what are we needing to do differently? Because there is a gap, and we need to bridge the gap. So I want you to visualize that version of yourself. Why am I really doing this? What am I craving? What am I looking for beyond a scale number? And what is the visualization of the woman who has the goal body, who lives in her goal body? What does she look like, think like, act like, feel like? I want to give you 2 prompts that I absolutely love. Let me pull these up. 2 prompts that I absolutely love from the end of part 1 for our Becoming Her training. We've got some deeper dive prompts, but there's 2 that I want to give you guys because I just love these. I love these. And so I have to share. Okay, 2 prompts to add to the things that I just gave you. Where in my life am I still holding on to my old self? Okay, I'm going to talk about shaking things up just a bit here in a few steps. But I want you to think about this now because then this can all really come together nicely. Where in my life am I still holding on to my old self? Again, what are those things that you're doing, thinking, how you're responding to setbacks and chaos and tough times? What are you still holding on to with your old self? And then what is one small action I can take today to act as her? Now, this is super important because so many women that don't get their goal body, that stay stuck in the same cycle, fall into the trap of, well, I'll start acting like her Monday when I start the program and take it seriously. What if you start acting like her today? What are you waiting for? Why are you waiting? There's nothing to wait for. This isn't okay, we're off, here we go, we're starting. This is the mindset that keeps women stuck. You need to just start being her today. There doesn't have to be a send-off. There doesn't have to be a start. It's right now. So you don't have to do it all, but what is one action that you can take today that your future self, the one that you're not quite acting in alignment with yet, what would she do and how can you show up and do it today? Maybe your energy's low, you really don't feel like getting your workout in. Normally you would skip it, say let's just sit on the couch, but you're going to go get that workout in. Okay, there's a million examples for this, but I wanted to share those two prompts and I want you to take them and I really want you to think about them, especially that first one. And then with the second one, how can you take action right now? Okay. So visualizing the self that you are working towards, that woman that you are becoming, getting crystal clear on her and your purpose and your why. To get excited and breathe some fresh air in, we need to reconnect here. And this is why I actually put this Becoming Her training out for everyone to get access to, is because one of the most important things that you can do all throughout your journey is get clear on your why and come back to your why. It's so easy to drift, but when you are anchored in to why you're doing this, I'm telling you, it makes all of the difference in the world. And that brings me to the next step. Okay. We've shifted our mindset. We've reconnected with our why and visualized her. Now I need you to pick an event to anchor your energy to. You may have heard me talk about this before. This is really what allowed me to lose 100 pounds. And I have run my clients through this since the beginning of my coaching programs, like so many years ago, like 9 years ago. And I still do this. I still do this and I still recommend it. Sometimes if we don't have something to anchor to, it can feel like we're just drifting in space. I want you to have the power of a tangible date or event that you are lit up about. Now, hear me out, because there may be something that really stands out to you, or you might need to manufacture it, which is totally okay. I've done that. I've had both, and you can have both. Now, I want you to pick something long-term and I want you to pick something short-term. So hear me out about this part. So with the long-term, what I'm thinking more is you kind of being at that place where you're like, okay, I have like arrived. Okay. And that doesn't mean you're necessarily all the way at your goal body, especially for my ladies who feel like they have a long ways to go. This can feel like, well, that's way too far away. So more so when I say I have arrived, like something, a date that's far enough in advance that you are like really visualizing that the transformation has been pretty massive, right? Like you have made substantial change. You have lost a significant amount of body fat. You have locked in your habits and the lifestyle. I swear I'm going to sneeze. No, don't do it. I've been trying to avoid it for the last like 2 minutes. You've locked in the lifestyle and you are truly like in that place where you feel like I've arrived. There's no going back. I've made this significant transformation. So this is more long-term, right? So think something 2026, a year from now, maybe like a whole year from now, like how different would you feel? Like, what would your life look like if you had really done this, okay, and really made some change? And I want you to think about that long-term goal. Now, it might be shorter. For example, next summer, like next summer, we've got a significant chunk of time right here, right now. Think about how amazing you would feel going into June if you really truly like put all of this to work. You reconnected to your why, you got going with all of this. Like, how amazing would you feel? Okay. So that's more of like a long term. But if it's too far away, okay, and the reason I have you pick this one is because you need to see and get excited about that version of yourself. Like it needs to come to fruition and be like a real life tangible thing for you. So I want you to go there. But if it's too far away, sometimes that can make us drag our feet and we can be like, oh, I've got all the time in the world. And we don't. We got to get some urgency. Huge part of excitement is getting some urgency going, right? So now I want you to pick something, at least one more short-term date. If you got a couple milestones, I love this. Like having things to look forward to and anchoring your energy to them is such a like top tier way to get this transformation exciting and fired up for you. But just pick one to start. Holidays are a great one, right? Like what if normally during the holidays you feel sluggish, you eat your way through the holidays, you don't even enjoy the food because you just feel crummy and you know that you're just eating like way too much and overindulging, and you've got that mindset of, oh, I'll start in January and I'll have to do a ton of work, but I guess I'll start, again in January. And like that's your normal like holiday vibe. Okay, what if you got excited about the fact that this year you're going to be locked in up until Christmas? And so therefore you are going to feel so good by the time Christmas comes, and you really get excited about the change that you're going to make this year, feeling like that version of yourself that you are proud of, that is like, let me put on the cute holiday outfit. Everyone take my picture. Okay, tag me in that. Like, what if you change the narrative for yourself and get excited about it? Get excited about it. Decide right now, this year, it will be different. And then I want you to visualize, okay? Visualize. What do you want to wear? What is the outfit? If you can pick the outfit out, I know holiday outfits probably aren't really out yet, but if you could pick the outfit, even just inspo on, almost said TikTok, on Pinterest, if you can pick the outfit out, like what is the specific thing you want to feel? So I keep using the holidays, but maybe it's a trip, maybe it's a party, maybe it's something that you want to feel so good for. And maybe it's the trip is that it's not about the outfit you necessarily want to wear. Maybe it's that you want to go on vacation and for the first time in your life, not be concerned that you're blowing your diet or undoing all of your progress. You want to feel good because you've made progress, and you want to feel confident that you can enjoy the food and enjoy the trip and get right back to it when you get home. Like, how much peace and freedom would you feel on that trip, right? If that was your like story. So it doesn't have to necessarily be an outfit. I just know most women really connect to that, but maybe it's a way you want to feel for a certain event. And I brought up manufacturing an event. Maybe there's not something. I mean, holidays are a great example because we all do something, right, for the holidays, but maybe it's your birthday. Maybe you're just going to pick a random date. I will never forget. I picked a random date one year. This was like close. Oh, I still feel like I'm going to sneeze. This was close to, it was like March. Oh, it was March. It was spring break. Spring break. That's what it was. I was like, I know it was like something that I didn't actually celebrate. Spring break. My kids weren't even in school yet. We weren't going on a trip, but I was like, I'm going to use that. In fact, it was my mom's birthday is always spring break. I was like, I'm going to use that as my motivation at New Year's when I was kind of going with my New Year's goals. I'm going to use that as motivation. That's like 3 months out, and a good little chunk of time for me to really see progress, which is kind of like right now with the holidays. And it wasn't really anything, but I was like, I want to feel cute in the outfit that I wear to her dinner, right? So you can make something up. It could be your birthday, it could be your anniversary, it could be anything at all. I want you to anchor yourself and your energy, because guess what? When those days of motivation that you don't feel like doing it are low, you need something that you are working towards. You need to feel anchored to something. So don't skip this. This will get you excited too. Like, I want you to write it down. Again, what do you want to wear? How do you want to feel? And again, get descriptive about this. Like, is it that you want to be able to feel good when you see the picture of yourself? Like, describe it in as much detail as you can and write it down. Bonus points if you commit to it like it's a contract and you put it somewhere where you see it every single day. I'll never forget. I used to put mine on my mirror in the morning. It was the first thing that I saw when I brushed my teeth, right? Put the countdown down, like do something to make this really tangible and real, like it is a contract with yourself. Okay. The next thing that you are going to do, I've mentioned this sort of shaking things up, and this is I want you to do a fall audit. Okay, here's why I want you to do this. One reason that you might be bored is that you need to shake things up. This is what I went through, okay? I am a creature of habit. And this is actually really good to have routines, to have systems, is why my transformation was pretty seamless, and also why maintenance is automatic and effortless. This is by design that I am routine. But sometimes, and this has happened all throughout the last decade, sometimes you need to shake it up. Sometimes you are bored and you don't realize that this is kind of sabotaging you from making progress. So this is what I realized this summer was I was just doing the same things, just going through the motions. I want you to ask yourself, am I just going through the motions? Am I just doing the same old things? Am I bored? Like, am I actually bored by what I'm doing? Here are some categories for you to audit. Now, I brought this up on social media, hence why I'm actually recording this podcast for you guys, because so many of you said, oh my gosh, like I have needed to hear this. I have been in this stuck energy. I didn't even realize, I didn't even think about this. So I deemed October, out of character October. That's actually our theme for our coaching clients inside of Goal Body Coaching. They're all being prompted to do at least one out of character thing. And you can do this too. When I say out of character, I don't mean not being yourself. What I mean is shaking up something that is in your routine that you're like, oh, I don't really do that. And switching it up. Sometimes you literally need to shift your energy, and sometimes you are going to feel so inspired by realizing that you're not stuck, that you can actually be flexible and variable. You could do like all these different things. This will inspire you so much. And I had this happen. So we're going to talk through these categories. Where I'm going to sneeze. Like this is I've never felt so stuck in a sneeze. Speaking of being stuck. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to list these categories to audit, and I want to bring up how these surfaced for me as an example. Meals. Are your meals boring? Are you eating the same foods? Are you just on autopilot, ordering the same grocery order? Like, are you eating for fuel, but you're not eating for any joy? Are you just stuck in these meals? I realized I was doing this. I was just using the same proteins and I wasn't really switching it up. And I totally shook things up with my meals, and it like changed everything. I think my family was so happy to be like, okay, we're trying some new stuff. I'm not trying to add a million things to your to-do list, but sometimes you need to kind of shake it up. Sometimes a little extra energy and effort towards trying some new recipes, finding some new foods is really, really good for you. I'm getting ready to do this Trader Joe's like fall seasonal stuff. I think it's out. Somebody can let me know. I haven't been. And when I get back next week, like it is literally on my to-do list to go to Trader Joe's, because it's such a good time to go to a different grocery store. It's 30 minutes away. So I travel to go to it, and not like it's that far, but go to a different grocery store, like order some stuff from online, like switch some stuff up if your meals are boring. Workouts. This was the big thing that I switched up. I have just been following the same thing. I kind of tried to get some things going, and I just really wasn't making any shifts or progress in my workouts. I'm very routine. I get my 3 to 4 strength training in a week, and it's just very boring and blah. I did not realize until my mom asked me, hey, do you want to do 2 things? Do you want to come to Zumba with me? And do you want to do 1 day a week of working out with my trainer? Okay. These are not new to me, because back when mom was starting her weight loss journey, I would go to Zumba with her all the time. And I'll be honest, like I'm not like a hardcore Zumba girly. I was a cheerleader, but Zumba is just, I say that. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, it's happening in real time. Stuck energy, out of character. I just don't do that. I'm not a Zumba girl. Okay, well, the truth of the matter is when I go, I have fun. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't think that this is the thing that I would do for cardio, but when I go, I have so much fun. And it's no hate to Zumba. It's just never been the thing that I'm like, I just love. Where mom, she's a dancer. She loves some Zumba. Okay, well, she invited me and I'm like, you know what? I used to go with you. It used to shake up my routine. I would go then to shake up my routine. And I went for years and years and years. But over the last few years, like since COVID times, like I think I've popped in there with her a couple times, special occasions, but I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to commit to not just going once. I'm going to go several times. And my Zumba instructor, we've got 2, and both of them have done our program, and it was making me so happy. She was talking about how she still does her logging her food and doing her stuff, and it just makes me so happy. But anyway, she was like, I'm glad you're back. And I was like, see, just getting outside of my comfort zone and doing something different completely reinvigorated me, completely refreshed my goals. And then working with mom's trainer is also not new to me. We did this back pre-COVID times, maybe like 2018 even. We did this in the spring. We did like Get Fit for summer, and I was already really in good shape, and he just kicked my butt even more. And this go around, I was so nervous because after all my health stuff this year, I don't have a lot of my strength and endurance. In fact, my quarter 4 focus for these last 3 months of the year is actually to get my cardio and my endurance and my strength back. After having these health issues I've had this year, I lost some of my lower body strength and I lost some of my cardio health, just my endurance, because I couldn't have impact. I wasn't able to do a lot of running. I did the elliptical as much as I could, but endurance just really isn't there, and strength. And so I said, with this Get Fit Friday, is what we're calling it with him, I want him to kick my butt. I want him to put me through it and do things that I don't normally do. I don't want to do the stuff that I do. I want you to get me doing the battle ropes and pushing the sled and jumping and doing the assault bike, which now I'm regretting saying that one. But the immediate change I felt, immediate shift in just doing something out of character, doing something out of my routine. I was like, oh, I could do anything. I mean, I literally went from feeling like I was so stuck, so uninspired, so bored by all of this to, I mean, I was still doing the things, going through the motions, but to being like, I am that girl. I am her. I am so like, it was an immediate shift, immediate shift. So I want to invite you to look at your routines and look at your workouts. Are you dreading them? Are you just going through the motions? When's the last time you changed it up? And let me say this, I change my strength plan every 4 weeks. Every single month, I change workout plans, okay? But it's the same thing with the strength training. I'm talking about doing something different, and you don't need a trainer and you don't need to go to a group fitness class. Although if you have that option, don't do what I do and say, oh, that's just not really me. I don't really like group fitness. What if that's exactly what you need? What if that is literally exactly what you need? We have so many ladies who go to those classes by themselves. And I'm like, y'all are so inspiring, which I'll do things by myself. But I'm just saying, you don't need someone to go with you. You don't need to do anything that, truly keeps you stuck. So what if you try some new stuff? And what if you tap into this energy and invigorate and excite yourself around workouts? Now, you don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to get a trainer. You can find some different routines or whatever, but I just hit the pavement, like shake it up. I'm telling you, shake it up. Okay. Audit your food, your workouts, and then audit your daily habits. Morning and evening routine. I want you to look at this and be for real with yourself. What can you shake up? Oh, something I didn't mention with the food is even this doesn't have to be so like think outside the box. I actually shifted where I eat lunch. Okay. Little things. Can you take your lunch outside, especially now that it's cooling down? Can you just switch up things around your meals? So I want to bring that point up. But daily habits, morning routine, where I was drinking my coffee, what I was doing in the morning, I shifted all of this. My evening routine, how I wind down. I didn't shift everything at once. I kind of took it in gradual steps, but I made some pretty big moves. And I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. But your mindset, your daily mindset, are there some things that you can specifically, purposely work on and shift? I can't suggest enough. If you are feeling led to have more guidance and structure through some of this mindset stuff, and you really need to lay the foundation, get becoming her. Get this training and get to work on it right now. I'm telling you, just after part 1, you will feel so shifted. So can you do some different stuff with your mindset? Can you do some different stuff with your stress management? Where can you just look at changing things with your daily habits? And then with your self-care, audit your self-care. Are you really taking time to nurture yourself? Is washing your face really even like that good of a self-care anymore? Maybe you need to light a candle and sit next to it and journal. Maybe you need to go for a 10-minute non-stimulation walk or sit outside or whatever. Like find something different, shake it up, shake it up. Now, you don't have to change everything, okay? We're not trying to overwhelm ourselves, but I will say this, and I have an episode coming on this topic. Sometimes these like small steps is what's keeping you stuck. This is what was keeping me stuck this summer. I'm like, I'm just going to take a little incremental step, and nothing was changing for me. I didn't feel any progress. I didn't feel excited about it. I didn't feel lit up by what I was doing. When I decided to take bold, big action and make huge moves, this is when things started shifting. This is when my excitement came back. So I want to just challenge you, if you're somebody who's like, that's overwhelming and it's too small steps. What if you just took bold action? What if you literally changed some stuff like massively? One of the things that I changed was putting on more like dress clothes in my workday. I've implemented this a few times. I've never really gotten it like fully going. My health issues this year definitely knocked me off of this. I had it going at the beginning of the year, but I never fully clicked into this. But I started doing this about a month ago, not every day. And my old story was, well, I do like, health and I can wear my workout clothes all day. I work from home. But I started telling myself, but you feel better, especially with certain things that I do for work. You feel better when you actually get dressed for the day. Going and working at a coffee shop, like just different things. I just want you to think about what can you switch up? What can you shake up? What can you change up? Now, the next step, create a refreshed plan. I do want to invite you to shake some stuff up, but I also want you to create a plan based on what you know works. So you might need to just lock back in, and sometimes the basics and the foundations work. There's so many things for me that I made these big shifts, but I also got re-excited by locking back into what I knew I needed to be doing. Okay. So my goals aren't necessarily fat loss related right now, but for you, if you're, not logging your food, if you're not focused on your protein and your fiber, if you're not focused on, your walks, your steps, like whatever the things are that you know you need to be doing, you need to create an action plan for that, a kind of refresh plan that includes some of this shakeup, right? Some of these out of character moves that you're going to implement as well. So just a simple plan. I'm not telling you to sit here and just create this massive plan. If you want to get becoming her and really dig into some of this, all three parts, especially part 2 and 3, you really get into the nitty gritty of like revamping like in a major way. So you can do that. But just for now, what I want you to do is just create a simple plan and base this off of some of the foundational stuff and some of the shakeup. But what needs to change? With this plan of action, what needs to change? What do you need to get rid of? What are some of those things that you know aren't serving you? What needs to change? And what needs to return, or what do you need to add in? So a lot of times ladies, are just needing to lock back in, but sometimes there's certain things that you never got going. So what do you need to add in, or what do you need to return to? And then the last question with this action plan, okay? What would make this feel fresh and exciting for you? I feel like we just don't ask this question, right? A plan that you're excited about is a plan that you will stick to. So you need to like reverse engineer that, right? Think about that. If you're excited about the plan, then you're going to be able to stick to it so much more. So what do you need to do to like manufacture some of that excitement and make this feel fresh and exciting for you? Okay. The last step of this plan, and this is where I want to share with you guys something that I made. I made it for myself, and then I was like, okay, I've never shared a Notion template before, but why not? We're doing out of character things anyway. So I have a Notion template. If you don't know what that is, I'll share here in just a sec, that I want to share with you guys. I'm going to be using, and I would love for you to use it as well. And we can just have this little, we're all doing this and all in it together. But I want you to think through your systems for accountability and tracking and making sure that you are tapped into all of this, because it's great to get excited, but how many times have you gotten excited and then let something fall to the side? So we're not going to do that. We're not choosing that anymore. We're going to make sure that we've got measures in place to stay accountable. So big fan of a quarterly focus, making sure that you know what is it that you're focused on. I shared mine. Mine is strength and endurance and my cardio health. Yours may be, your fat loss goals. Like, I don't want to imprint too many things into your brain. I want this to be organic and from you. So what is your quarterly focus? I want you to write this stuff down. This is not just, oh yeah, that sounds great. Put pen to paper with this, okay? Quarterly plan, monthly goals and intentions. I don't care that we're a week into October. It literally doesn't even matter. So, okay, cool. We are going to set our October intentions and we are going to get clear on the action steps that we want to take. What do we need to get rid of? Okay, so I want you to set your monthly goals and intentions. Go ahead and do that now. Think about from a month POV, what is it? And then weekly goals and intentions is how you're going to break it down to the next level. Every single week, I do a Sunday strategy session. It's always a lot to have to get that out of my mouth. Sunday strategy session, okay? Doesn't matter what day of the week you do it. Of course, the beginning of the week makes the most sense, but I know different schedules and things. Maybe Monday is good for you. Maybe Saturday is best for you. Either way, there needs to be a day where you are sitting down and you are looking at your calendar and you're looking at your monthly intentions and you're breaking these things down on a weekly level. How many workouts are you going to get in? What's your goal for your nutrition? Is it to log all 7 days? Is it to stay in your calories? Whatever, you're going to break it down into weekly goals and then daily. Every single day, your daily non-negotiables, your daily task list. This is something that everyone can do, and anyone's like, I'm too busy. I'm like, that is such BS. Like, that's such BS. You can take 10 minutes to start your day to get clear on what your goals are and your non-negotiables for the day. Set an alarm. Like, we have these phones, they're here for a reason, right? Set an alarm that's going to go off and tell you, hey, take 10 minutes, pre-log your food or look at your goals or update your tracker or whatever it is that you need to do. That is a daily non-negotiable that is going to allow you to stay accountable. Now, here's where I want to share with you guys my Notion template that I created. And I really made this for you guys, obviously, as a fat loss coach. You guys are in mind with the template that I created because I'm not in a fat loss phase. So there's some stuff on here that is more so for y'all. I'm trying to build some muscle. Hello, my focus, strength. So I do have some of these goals that go with it, but I did make it for you guys, like scale and everything is on here so that you can measure how you want to measure. So I created a Notion template. If you do not have Notion, it is free. But even if you don't want to create an account, you have to create an account because it's like you'll keep coming back to it. And so it's like a journal. So you've got to be signed in so that you can keep your data. But with this Notion template that I created, okay, it has 12 weeks. We got 12 weeks. And this is, okay, let me pull this up because I'm going to use some reference here to kind of explain what this is in case you want to use it. So this is a weekly update that you will do across these 12 weeks. So if you're listening to this later on, you could probably still get the template. You could jump in week 2, 3, it literally doesn't matter, but you can jump in with this template and start right now. The first part at the top each week is just setting a nutrition, a movement, and a self-care goal, which is what we do in our programs. And then at the end of the week, you come back and you fill out your progress and you fill out your check-in. So again, there's different things here. End of week progress update to update every Sunday. Some of these things like tape measurements could be, it says like update every 2 to 4 weeks, but weekly average scale weight, your scale change. There's a little checkbox for taking updated progress pictures. Then there's nutrition, movement, self-care update, and then an overall update. So it's asking you to fill these things out as a way to stay accountable and measure your progress. The best part is I already dated everything. So it's got the dates across the top. There's a checkbox at the top that you can check off that you completed. And at the end of each month, there's a monthly reflection as well. Now, remember that we can check all the boxes, okay? But the mindset piece is the most important part. So I cannot suggest enough that you grab this free template and we do this together. But if you know, and this is 99% of women, if you know you need to get deeper into the identity work, you know that you need to, really truly dig in so that you can make a permanent transformation. That is where our Becoming Her training is going to be so valuable. The reason that I made this training available to you guys is because this is the missing piece of the puzzle for so many women, and this lays the foundation. It's not our full, deeper mindset, which is our Train Your Brain for Forever Fat Loss. That is exclusive to our coaching program. It's not even in the academy. That is a lot deeper. We go way deeper on the details, but this Becoming Her truly lays the foundation. Okay. So we can check the boxes, which is what we're going to do. But I cannot suggest enough that you pair Becoming Her and doing this training alongside this. I am going to be refreshing my Becoming Her prompts. I'm going to be going through all of it for myself, encouraging my ladies in the academy. By the way, Becoming Her is in the academy and coaching. So you can get it inside of those spaces. You don't have to get it separately. But if you're just wanting to get Becoming Her training, you can get it. And it's on demand. You get immediate access to all three parts. There's a journal with all the prompts, all the things. So it's ready to go for you. And then you keep it forever. So here's the deal. Deep breath. Okay. We are going to lock in on this together. Okay. I want you to make sure that you are set up for success with this. And that is where using my Notion template is going to allow for you to check in on your progress, and you can tap into the Becoming Her training as well. With the Notion template, you are making a duplicate. So remember, I'm going to share the link in the show notes for the free template, and you'll need an account if you don't already have one so that you can sign back in and keep updating it and keep checking in with it. Let me know if you use it. I'm going to be so excited to cheer you guys on that are going to use it with me. And I'm going to be filling mine out. I'm going to be sharing on social as well. And then the link for Becoming Her, if you want to jump on that and get that, is going to be in the show notes as well. I cannot talk about all of this without talking about having real support and accountability. So while the training is amazing, if you know that you need to be in the room of accountability and support, that is where the academy or goal body coaching is where you need to be. Okay. If you know that you just try to do this stuff on your own and it always falls to the side, like at some point we got to step into the commitment of I need accountability and support. So in the academy, you have our incredible community. You have the monthly Q&A with me. We went so hard on the last one. I was literally like out of breath. That is where I can coach you through your obstacles on that monthly Q&A. So many resources, including our goal body foundation. So the fat loss framework, and again, Becoming Her is already inside of there for you. So you can join us in the academy, or if you know that you need the individual support and the high level of support and accountability, that is where you can apply for goal body coaching and have the high proximity coaching with me. So you've got options, okay? You got the free Notion template. You can grab the Becoming Her training, or if you really want to step into the room and finish out this year with us so strong and know that you're locked in on your goals, the academy and goal body coaching are your options to join our program. So you can check all of it out in the show notes. I will link everything, some little bonus ways to breathe some energy into your goals that I just want to throw at you. I've kind of said some of these. Joining a space where you're held accountable, like I just mentioned, academy or goal body coaching is one great way to breathe some energy to get yourself going. Also, change your environment, even rearranging a room. Hello, if you guys heard me talking about how I rearranged my office, this is a part of all of this out of character stuff, okay? Change your office, change your, clean out a junk drawer, like do some, like rearrange some energy, things are energy, like move stuff around, or even like a new playlist, okay? A new workout gear, like new outfit, something like that, trying a new recipe, trying a new fitness class, a new self-care ritual, something to just breathe that energy in. Curate your social feed, follow accounts that actually inspire you, and block, mute, whatever, disconnect from ones that are draining you or apps that drain you. Get on apps that actually light you up. I love Pinterest and Substack. These are two of my favorites. Personally love TikTok because I can really get into spaces that actually are like good and I can stop the scroll. But whatever, for you, truly like create a vision board. This is something in the Becoming Her training that we get into. Create a vision board for quarter 4 or 2026. Get really excited and set some bold goals. I'm telling you, set some bold goals, reward yourself in ways that are non-food, and find some ways to just shake all of this up. I'm here to tell you, like getting outside, harnessing the energy of like the literal change of this season, do some things differently. But I am here to tell you, you can get reinvigorated and re-excited, but do not sit and wait for it to happen. Take action on it and go and get it yourself. I'm so excited for you guys to lock in with me for the rest of 2025. I still can't even believe I'm saying that. Okay, check out all the things in the show notes, links to the free Notion template. Let me know if you use it. I'm super excited to hear about all my girls who are going to jump in on that with me. Check out Becoming Her. I'm so excited to have this out for you guys. Finally, I've been working on this for so long. And if you want to join us in the Academy or Goal Body Coaching, come on in, apply for coaching, and we can chat if that's a good fit for you, or join us right now in the Academy. Links in the show notes for all the things. If you loved this episode and you want to share it with me, I love when you DM me on Instagram or email me on Instagram at Goal Body by Hillary with 1 L. And that is all for today. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.